And so, can you give us an idea of what you're working on? What's coming?
I don't know, I have this desire to go bigger, like to paint larger paintings. And so I'm going to be working on a collection, like I mentioned, kind of about identity and God's original intent for us. I love the scripture that says, before I formed you, I knew you. And before you were born, I set you apart. And so that to me really speaks to how deeply God not just knows us, but like created us for something specific. And I think a lot of us, me included, are kind of have these false things or these false identities that we're like, oh, I'm this or I'm that. I want to create something that will remind people of who God says that we are. And so, still with children, I'm really still drawn to painting children or painting young people. But my message, a lot of times, my message is for the adults, just to remember who God has called us to be. And
Mm,
so, it's meant to be another encouraging collection that I hope that God speaks to. But I'm at the very beginnings of it.
wonderful. So, when you had your other series, when did you know that you were finished?
I had a deadline.
You had a deadline.
I really wanted to do like 24 paintings, and I had a friend that I was in the middle of that collection, and I happened to a friend of mine, Scott Smith, who does a lot of different events focus on the arts and really a lot of them focus on like performing artists, but had just started doing a kind of like gallery showcases for visual artists, and approached me and said, hey, I have a space, and we want to do a solo show, a solo gallery style show for you. I was like, wow, I'm working on a series. I didn't know where I was going to show it, and this would be great. That was probably 6 months into me doing the collection, and then 6 months before the show, the date. And I had a lot of goals for how many I thought I was going to paint. I painted only 18. And wouldn't you know it, that filled up the space. It's like, wouldn't have had room for more. And so
Perfect.
it was,
But you didn't have to cut any.
I didn't.
That's that's perfect.